What if I told you that you could transform your mindset overnight? That with just a small shift in perception, you could unlock the potential of your mind, elevating your life in ways you never imagined? Sounds impossible, right? But dear soul traveler, what if I told you that such a transformation has been available to us all along, hidden away in the folds of ancient teachings, waiting patiently for the right moment to emerge? This isn't just a theory, nor some empty promise of fleeting happiness. It's a real practice, a tool so profound that it can change the very fabric of your mind. We all know how difficult it can be to shift our mindset. The conditioning of our lives, our experiences, the people around us, and our endless distractions can create an impenetrable barrier to the true potential we possess. Negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, fear, and self-doubt keep us trapped in a cycle of repetition, unable to break free. But what if there was a way out, a forgotten practice that could offer us a glimpse beyond the veil, allowing us to step into the life we are meant to live? It exists. It's time to uncover the ancient wisdom of the lotus. The lotus, that sacred flower, has been revered for centuries across various spiritual traditions. To many, it symbolizes purity, spiritual awakening, and the potential to rise above the murk of life's suffering. But there's a deeper layer to the symbolism of the lotus. It holds the key to one of the most profound transformations a person can experience, the transformation of the mind. What makes the lotus so powerful in this context is its journey. It begins in the darkest depths, in the muddy waters, where the conditions for life seem far from ideal. But it doesn't remain in the darkness. It pushes upward, growing through the murky water, towards the light of the sun, and eventually blooms in full glory. This process is a perfect metaphor for the journey of the human mind. In our lives, we too experience the murkiness, the negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and unresolved trauma that weigh us down. But we have the same potential as the lotus to rise above it. The question is, are we ready to make the climb? Are we willing to let go of the old ways of thinking that keep us trapped in the darkness? Now that we understand the metaphor, let's dive deeper into the practice itself. The lotus practice isn't something you can find in a mainstream self-help book. It's a meditative technique, one that has been passed down through the ages, largely forgotten in the hustle of modern life. But its power is timeless, and it is ready to be reawakened. The practice involves a specific sequence of visualization and breathwork, combined with a deep intention to purify the mind and consciousness. The essence of the practice is simple yet profound. You visualize yourself as a lotus flower, moving through the stages of growth from the muddy waters of your mind to the pure light of awareness. Let's break this practice down into clear, actionable steps that can be integrated into your life right now. The first step of the lotus practice is to visualize the seed of the lotus, which represents the seed of your potential. This seed lies deep within you, untouched by external circumstances or limitations. It is the pure essence of who you are, a perfect spark of consciousness that exists before all conditioning, fear, and doubt. To begin, sit comfortably in a quiet place. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. As you breathe in, imagine drawing energy up from the earth, filling your body with grounding, nurturing energy. As you breathe out, release any tension or distractions from your mind. Allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment, here and now. Next, bring your awareness to your heart center. Imagine that there is a small seed of light nestled in the very core of your being. This seed represents your infinite potential, your true essence. See this seed as a tiny, glowing orb of pure light, untouched by the world. It is perfect, whole, and complete. With every breath, imagine this seed growing brighter, expanding with the energy of the universe. Feel the power of this seed, knowing that within it lies the key to unlocking your fullest potential. As the lotus seed begins to grow, it must rise through the muddy waters. This stage represents the obstacles, limiting beliefs, and fears that have held you back. The journey is not always easy, but it is through the struggle that you find your strength. In this step, as you continue to breathe deeply, visualize the seed pushing through the murky water of your subconscious mind. The water represents the negative thoughts and emotions that have accumulated over time, fear, shame, guilt, anger, and self-doubt. These emotions are the mud that obstructs your growth. As you breathe in, imagine that the energy of each breath helps you to rise above these negative emotions. With each exhale, visualize the release of these limiting beliefs, watching them dissolve into the water as you rise upward, growing stronger and more vibrant with every moment. Allow yourself to feel the resistance of the water, knowing that it is only temporary. You are moving through it, not stuck in it. This is the part of the practice where many people give up, because the mud can feel heavy and overwhelming. But remember, the lotus does not fear the mud. It rises above it, using it as the very fuel for its transformation. After the seed is pushed through the mud, it begins to rise above the surface of the water. This stage represents the moment when your mind begins to break free from the limitations of the past. It is the moment when you realize your true potential, and you begin to see yourself as you truly are, a being of infinite possibilities. As you continue with the practice, visualize the lotus bud emerging from the water. It is still closed, but it is no longer encumbered by the mud. It is now free to open, to blossom into its full beauty and radiance. This is a symbol of your awakening. At this moment, take a deep breath and feel the expansiveness within you. You are not just your fears or your past mistakes. You are the lotus, growing and evolving into your fullest potential. Feel the excitement of this awakening, knowing that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Now that the lotus has risen above the surface, it begins to bloom in full glory. This represents the moment of full self-realization, the moment when you step into the fullness of your power. The lotus flower is open, and its petals are radiant, reflecting the light of the sun. It has transcended the murkiness of the water and now stands in its full splendor. In this step of the practice, visualize the lotus flower fully blooming, its petals unfurling one by one, each one representing a different aspect of your true self. These aspects may include compassion, wisdom, creativity, or any other quality that you wish to embody. As the lotus blooms, allow yourself to feel these qualities awakening within you. At this stage, you are no longer bound by the old patterns and limitations of your mind. You have transcended fear, self-doubt, and negativity. You are free. Your mind is now open to receive the infinite possibilities of the universe. The final step of the lotus practice is to see the flower basking in the sunlight. The sun represents the ultimate awareness, the highest state of consciousness that exists beyond duality. It is the truth of who you are, the pure light that transcends all illusions. As you visualize the lotus flower under the sunlight, feel the warmth of the sun's rays enveloping you. This light represents clarity, wisdom, and unconditional love. Let this light fill every corner of your being, illuminating any shadows or doubts that remain. At this moment, you are completely aligned with your true nature. You are one with the universe, free from the limitations of the mind, and open to the boundless potential of existence. The beauty of the lotus practice lies not just in its ability to spark immediate change, but in its power to sustain transformation over time. You see, while it's entirely possible to feel a shift in your mindset overnight, true and lasting change does not occur in the blink of an eye. It is a process, and like any meaningful change in life, it demands consistency. The key to fully unlocking the transformative potential of the lotus practice is commitment. It is through this ongoing practice that the old, ingrained patterns of thinking, the conditioning, and the attachments that once held us back slowly begin to dissolve. Over time, we release what no longer serves us, allowing space for new, liberating beliefs to take root in the fertile ground of our minds. To understand the power of consistency, think about the way a river shapes the rocks beneath it. A single drop of water may seem insignificant, but over time, as the water continually flows, it carves out deep channels and creates vast, winding paths through the stone. Just like the water's steady rhythm, your consistent practice shapes your mind, gently smoothing away the rough edges of doubt, fear, and limitation. It is in this process, though subtle, that the real magic of the lotus unfolds. With every breath, every moment spent visualizing the growth of your lotus, you are sending ripples through the vast ocean of your subconscious, transforming your mental landscape. In the beginning, you may not notice drastic changes. There might be days when you feel that the practice isn't working, that your mind is still filled with clutter, still anchored in old habits of fear and negativity. But here's the secret. Consistency isn't about immediate results. It's about the quiet trust that the seeds you've planted are growing, even when you can't see them yet. Just as the lotus seed lies beneath the surface of the water, growing in darkness before it emerges into the light, so too does your transformation begin beneath the conscious awareness of your mind. You may not see the changes immediately, but they are happening. Every time you return to the practice, every time you sit with the image of your lotus, you are laying down another layer of growth, another inch toward the light. It's important to remember that the lotus practice is not a quick fix. It's not a tool for instant gratification. It's a long-term companion, a guiding light that will be with you as you traverse the winding path of personal growth. The power of this practice comes from its ability to shift the underlying currents of your thoughts and emotions, those forces that run beneath the surface of your awareness. Consistent practice allows you to recalibrate your internal compass, to align your mind with your true nature. Over time, this alignment becomes more and more effortless. You no longer have to force the shift. It happens naturally, like the lotus blooming under the steady warmth of the sun. When you commit to the practice, even if it's only for a few minutes each day, you begin to build a solid foundation of inner peace. It's not about squeezing in time when it's convenient, but about making the commitment to honor your own growth. Every time you set aside time for the lotus practice, you are telling your mind, your heart, and your soul that you are worth the investment. In these precious moments, you're telling yourself that your transformation matters, that you are worthy of the light, of the freedom that comes with letting go of old patterns. The practice doesn't need to be long. It doesn't require hours of meditation or extreme discipline. Even a few minutes of focused breathwork and visualization each day will start to create a profound impact. The key lies in your consistency. It's about showing up for yourself, not once or twice, but every day. Imagine planting a tree. If you only water it sporadically, it may wither, but if you commit to nurturing it regularly, you will see it flourish. The lotus is no different. It requires your care, your attention, and your presence. As you continue this journey, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in how you approach life. Situations that once triggered your anxieties may no longer have the same grip on you. You may find that your response to stress becomes more measured, that you have a greater sense of clarity when making decisions. With consistent practice, the murkiness of your mind begins to clear, just as the lotus rises from the muddy water to bloom in the sunlight. You are no longer drowning in the chaos of your thoughts and emotions. Instead, you begin to rise above them, observing them with a sense of detachment, not allowing them to dictate your inner state. The lotus practice is not a fleeting moment of change. It is the doorway to a profound, lasting transformation. It's a journey that leads you beyond the surface of your mind, beyond the judgments, fears, and attachments that have held you captive for so long, into the very core of your being. The beauty of this practice lies not just in the immediate peace it can bring, but in its ability to guide you toward a deeper, more expansive understanding of yourself and the world around you. It is a pathway that leads to the ultimate transformation, the awakening of your highest self. Transformation is not about becoming something different or better than who you already are. It's about shedding the layers of illusion, the false identities that have been imposed upon you by society, by past experiences, and by the stories your mind has told itself for years. The lotus is not here to make you into someone new. It is here to help you rediscover who you truly are, beneath the clutter of conditioning and fear. This is the true nature of transformation, not an external change, but an internal revelation. It is the process of peeling back the layers, one by one, until you reach the pure essence of your being, which is love, awareness, and infinite potential. As you continue the lotus practice, you will come to realize that the journey is not about perfection. It's not about achieving some ideal version of yourself or reaching a place of final enlightenment. The path is much more fluid than that. It is about progress, growth, and the constant unfolding of your awareness. Each step you take along the path of the lotus is a step toward greater freedom, greater clarity, and greater compassion. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, showing up for yourself each day, and allowing yourself to grow with grace. The lotus blooms in the mud, and so too does your transformation unfold in the midst of life's challenges. It's easy to think that transformation should be smooth, that the path to awakening should be free from obstacles. But the truth is that growth often arises from the most difficult and messy of situations. The very mud that threatens to drown the lotus is the same mud that nourishes its roots and allows it to grow. In the same way, the challenges and hardships you face in life are not obstacles to your transformation. They are opportunities for you to rise above, to learn, and to evolve. The lotus practice is a reminder that even in the darkest times, when you feel overwhelmed by the weight of your past, there is always the possibility of growth, of renewal, and of ultimate transformation. Your past does not define you, and the mistakes you've made are not permanent stains on your soul. They are simply part of the journey, stepping stones that have led you to this moment. Just as the lotus grows through the mud, so too can you grow through your own experiences. The mud is not your enemy. It is the soil that allows you to reach for the light. What is the ultimate transformation then? It is the ability to see through the illusions of the mind and recognize your true nature. It is the awareness that you are not your thoughts, not your past, not your emotions. You are the observer, the awareness behind it all. The lotus teaches you to let go of the attachment to these temporary and fleeting identities and to rest in the stillness of your being. In this stillness, you can experience life as it truly is, a constant flow of energy, of movement, of change, but also of deep peace and unwavering presence. True transformation is not about pushing away the parts of yourself that you don't like. It's about embracing all aspects of yourself with love and acceptance. It's about recognizing that every part of your being, the light and the dark, the beautiful and the challenging, is part of the whole. Just as the lotus does not reject the mud, but uses it to nourish its growth, you too can learn to embrace the challenges and imperfections of your life as the very fuel that propels you toward your highest potential. And in this acceptance, you will find compassion, first for yourself and then for others. The more you understand your own nature, the more you can understand and empathize with the struggles of those around you. The lotus is a symbol of compassion, not just as an ideal, but as a way of being in the world. When you are rooted in the awareness of your true self, you naturally radiate kindness, patience, and understanding. You become a beacon of light for others, showing them that transformation is not only possible, but inevitable. The ultimate transformation, then, is not a singular moment in time. It is a continuous unfolding. It is the journey of becoming more fully yourself, of letting go of all the layers that have kept you from your truth. It is a dance between light and shadow, joy and sorrow, love and fear. It is the realization that all of these parts are necessary for your growth and that none of them are permanent. Everything changes, and in this change, there is the freedom to evolve, to transcend, and to ultimately awaken to your true nature. This is the invitation of the lotus practice, to step into the fullness of your potential and experience life from a place of pure awareness. It invites you to embrace the ebb and flow of life with grace, to recognize the wisdom in every moment, and to live each day with an open heart and a clear mind. The ultimate transformation is not something to achieve, but something to be experienced in every breath, in every moment of awareness, in every act of compassion. And so, as you continue the practice, let go of any expectations. The journey will unfold in its own time, in its own way. Trust in the process. Trust in the lotus. You are already transforming, whether you see it yet or not. The truth of who you are is waiting for you to realize it. And with every moment of presence, every step you take along the path, you are blossoming more and more into the light of your true self. The ultimate transformation is not a destination. It is the experience of living in alignment with the deepest truth of your being. Let the lotus be your guide, and trust that you are already becoming exactly who you are meant to be. You have now learned the forgotten Lotus practice, a tool that can transform your mindset and your life. The journey is yours to embark upon. Will you take the first step towards your true potential? Will you rise above the darkness and bloom into your fullest self? The choice is yours. The Lotus is waiting.